Hey guys, it's Paradise, and a massive update is dropping for Monster Hunter Wilds, bringing not only the new Akuma collab, but also a ton of changes to the weapons, performance, quality of life, and more. We even have more details on what's coming in Title Update 2, so there is a lot of exciting things to go through. There's a ton of details in the patch notes, so we've rounded up the things you will want to know in this handy video. We'll start with the weapon buffs and nerfs, as these are the most exciting changes to us, given how these will impact your actual gameplay. We see major changes to the hammer, hunting horn, gun lance, light bowgun, and heavy bowgun, and minor fixes to the other weapons. The big old boomstick, the gun lance, has received significant tweaks, mostly focused on changes across its shelling types and perhaps even making elemental damage more impactful. Previously, wide shells were generally the best, and now it looks like they're making other shelling types such as long and normal more viable, as they have buffed normal with increased burst damage while nerfing full blast. There's also an elemental damage increase, which will benefit the long shelling type the most, so it'll be interesting to test this out because so far, the gun lance has mostly benefited from raw attack. Furthermore, it does state that certain aspects of the gun lance's artian weapons have been increased, which is good news as they weren't competing with other weapons in the endgame. Next, we have everyone's favorite Unga Bunga weapon, the hammer, which has been awaiting major improvements for a while now after being confirmed by the devs, and we get a taste of it here with even more improvements coming in Title Update 2 for the hammer specifically. In this update though, the overall attack power has been increased. The elemental scaling has also been increased for certain moves, and its general responsiveness has been improved, including the ability to evade when readying an upswing, and the hitbox of the upswing and sneak attack have also been increased, meaning getting those offset hits with the upswing should be even easier. Now, I've really enjoyed dooting and tooting on the hunting horn in Wilds, and luckily we're actually seeing some potential game-changing tweaks when it comes to your damage output. A lot of the core moves in your main rotations are seeing damage increases, with Echo Bubbles, Performances, Encores, and even the Focus Strike getting straight up more damage, while making the cancel timings for Encores and the offset earlier, so landing offsets should be a lot easier. Although note the visual effects of the Echo Bubbles are being toned down, which I find a little sad, although this is understandable. Next, if you're a ranged player, then get ready because the bowguns, both the light and heavy options, are having similar but dramatic tweaks to its various ammo types. Across the board, we're seeing elemental ammo getting damage nerfs, while raw ammo types such as normal, spread, sticky, and slicing are getting buffs. Perhaps it's finally time for these spread shotgunners out there to really shine. But either way, it looks like it's going to mix things up for bowgunners and their mixed sets. Outside of this, the other weapons have received various fixes. Next up, we have actual gameplay details on the controls of the new Akuma collab. You might have been disappointed at first when seeing Akuma is once again coming back to Monster Hunter instead of something brand new. But this thing is being dubbed as the 15th weapon in the game by various community members, which I think is a little hyperbolic. But we do get it, it is pretty cool and it does mix things up and behave completely differently than any previous collab we've seen before, including Akuma in Rise. When you have the layered or actual armor for Akuma equipped, 3 items will appear in your item bar: the assisted combo Akuma, Drive Impact, and Akuma's version of the Hadouken, Go Hadouken. To do Akuma's crazy moves, you simply need to select and use these items, but you can then press triangle or circle to activate different moves within its moveset. This is something we seriously cannot wait to try out. It really mixes things up and is potentially a whole new playstyle, and yes, it actually deals damage that scales off of the weapon you have equipped. We also have details on how the Drive Impact offset attack works. Firstly, you will have a drive gauge that fills up over time and is needed to activate it. You can then either use Drive Impact from the item bar or hold L2 and press R1 mid-combo. If you're using the full armor set version of Akuma, this move will gain the offset effect, and hitting a monster's wound or weak point will activate the Shun Goku Satsu attack and gain stun properties. So the difference between the armor and the layered armor version is pretty stark, and it feels like you will need to use the full armor set to get the full value out of Akuma's moves. Furthermore, they say you can shortcut each of his actions to make it easier, and there's even more to discover within the collab, so it's pretty exciting. A ton of people have been hoping for performance improvements in the game, especially with texture streaming. Well, now we finally have new performance improvements, and this is a big deal given the performance issues people have been having. They say the team continues to identify stability issues and make improvements where possible, especially on the Steam version. This is an ongoing process, and we aim to make continual progress in this area. Essentially, this update gives us optimizations to VRAM usage and will fix crashes due to VRAM. This is something that Digital Foundry pointed out as being a massive issue in the game, so this is a great fix to see in the patch notes. Next, the community have been begging for more challenging monsters, and it's not a joke when most monsters in the game only take 2 to 3 minutes to hunt. Well, now we're getting some harder monsters. They're introducing new 8-star versions of Tempered Gore Magala, Raidao, Uthduna, New Udra, and Jindahad. They'll be available at HR 41+, so there'll be no more farming Tempered Arkveld back-to-back, which got a bit repetitive. Furthermore, these monsters have had various behind-the-scenes adjustments to make them more resilient, have more health, resistance to wounding, and tweaks to their multiplayer scaling. They've particularly highlighted 8-star Tempered Gore Magala to be an especially tough challenge. But what do you think? Will this gore fight finally give us some real challenge? There's a few additional things related to this that are impactful as well. Higher difficulty quests will now appear more frequently as your HR increases, and the spawn rate of quests with multiple monsters and tempered monsters with higher star ratings will increase. So hopefully rest spamming to farm tempered monsters will be a thing of the past. The future is looking pretty exciting now that we have even more details on the Title Update 2's features. We're finally going to be getting layered weapons in Title Update 2, which is something that cannot come fast enough. They've also confirmed that new monsters will be introduced, as well as a new Arc Tempered monster, adding more challenge than ever before. The hammer's also getting various improvements in Title Update 2 on top of this update, including giving it new offset attacks to its other moves in its kit, and a new follow-up attack after landing an offset. So Hammer Bros out there can rejoice, because soon it really is going to be hammer time. The photo mode has always bugged me, and they're finally going to be adding a character display toggle and an option to toggle off the glowing effects on your hunter. Anyone that's tried using the photo mode will know just how annoying these things were. On top of this, other weapons will also be receiving changes in Title Update 2, such as the dual blades, but there's no details yet on what this means. Now, going back to the current update, it is pretty huge and there's a ton of smaller features and changes coming, so here are some that we felt are worth highlighting. Resting will now reset your mantle cooldowns. It was frustrating that this wasn't already a thing, because starting a new hunt without your mantles just sucked, and now this should be fixed, at least if you rest. Think about it, resting between every hunt might still get annoying, so ideally they will make it where it refreshes every time you do a new hunt or go back to camp. The update will also add in new armor, talismans, and skills, so make sure to check your talismans each update, because these recent updates have been letting you upgrade certain ones to even higher levels. On top of this, the barrel bowling rewards will now have a chance to include a free meal voucher for the various different regions, so getting those special meals should be even easier. Next, it looks like Capcom are trying to be a bit sneaky, because they've said they've reduced the amount of guild points earned from capturing certain aquatic life. What this might actually mean is a nerf to the cave and fishing farms. They say guild point rewards for fishing have been rebalanced. Certain whoppers and rare fish have their rewards increased, while others have them decreased. The farms were good while they lasted, but there is still hope. We're going to have to test these after the update drops. Now, if you are an endemic life enjoyer, this update will add in the ability to view individual endemic life that you've captured. But honestly, I just want my hunter's room back, where I can view my trophies and the endemic life inside. I don't just want a menu screen. What do you think? And they also say that stronger monsters are planned to be added in the future, and to complement this, a new system will be added where you can earn rewards and equipments that will allow you to diversify your builds. We're wondering what exactly this means. Could it be a new decoration or augment system? Either way, it's likely going to really mix up everyone's armor sets in the future. Here at Arekkz Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.